Welcome back to the video lecture series on Python programming. We have covered the data types, the first two data types, the number and strings. Now we are going to cover the third, which is a very important data type, which is lists, right? So as we have already talked about, lists are nothing but ordered list of, ordered set of objects, right? So for example, if we want to have multiple objects in a particular set, right? And when I say multiple objects, those objects can belong to different data types or object types also, right? So when we want to have that kind of a set, ordered set, we use the list data type. And list data type actually is one of the most powerful feature or data type that Python provides. Though it is similar to the arrays in C, but in terms of the versatility, it is more, it's even better than the arrays, right? So what is a list data type? As we have seen, how do we create a list data type? We can create a list data type by using the square brackets, right? We can stack up the elements within the list as within the square brackets and separated by commas, right? So you can have a list like this, say 5, which is of an integer data type, and then you can have a 4.99, which is a float, right? Yeah, it's an integer. It's a number, but it's a float number. Then you can have a string here, say S, right? So you can have different elements stacked up together between the brackets, the square brackets, and then separated, each of the elements separated by a comma, right? This is how a list looks like. Then all the items, as I talked about, can belong to the different object types or data types, right? And when you want to access the elements in a list, you can basically do in the same way as you had done in case of string. You can simply use the index of a particular element to access that element. Or if you want to fetch a range of elements, then what you can give is you can give the starting index, the ending index, and the steps. The if you are if you don't want to pick up each and every element within that range, the start and end, you want to get the alternate one, so you will mention a step of 2, right? And in case you are not mentioning anything, by default it will pick every element within that range, within that starting and ending number, right? Now, when you go to the next thing, the concatenation, again, it is very much like the string. You can use the plus operator. And the repetition of the list also happens in the same way, repetition of elements of the string list. It also can be done using the star or the asterisk operator, right? So it's pretty much in the same way as we have done in case of strings. Now, creating a list. How can you create a list? There are two ways. Either you can directly create a list having element values specified. So, a list with predefined values. So that is one possible option. So here I create a larger list and a shorter list having predefined values. So filled up list. This is one option you can always go by. The other option is, I'll come to the in the next slide. But before that, how do you access the different elements? Say, for example, I want to, so basically the indices are in the same way as we had seen in case of strings. So this is basically the 0th index. This is the first. This is the second. This is the third. So when I do an access with 1, that means the second element, this 32, is going to be returned. So 32 is getting returned. When I say 1, again, I start from the first element and I go to the third element, so second element to the fourth element. Here it is a little different from what was there in the string. In string, you had mentioned the first index and the number of characters, right? But here you give the first index, the starting index, and the stopping index. So it will start from the second position, which is here, and go till the fourth position, which is here. So it will end before that. So here it will end, right? So it will return 32 and 5.8. So it will not go till the third index. It will go till one element lesser than the index 3, right? Not third, it's a fourth index, sorry. When you give a starting range and don't mention the stopping range, so it will start from the position, index position 2, which is this one, and go till the end. So it will return both 5.8 and abhi@gmail.com, both of them. When you want to repeat the list, say for example, this list I want to repeat twice, so I just do a list *2. So it will repeat the list twice. If I want to concatenate two lists, so I am concatenating the larger list and the smaller list. How do? I just use the plus operator, right? I use the plus operator, and this is what I get. So this is the first list and this is the second list. They come together to form one single list, right? So these are the basic operations to create a list, to access a list, to concatenate a list, and to repeat a list, right? These are the basic things operations that you do. Now, the second way of creating list. I mean, sometimes it may so happen that at the beginning of a program, you don't know what values are going to come as a part of the list elements, right? So you just start with a blank list, and if you maybe you are going through a loop or something, and you are adding element to the list. I mean, adding elements to the list, right? So how do you do that? You start with a blank list like this. Okay, so you just give a square bracket without any elements. So it is a blank list, right? So I just print the blank list here. Then you just append one element to the list by saying, using the function dot append, right? So I just append one element, the first element, right? So, and I print that. Now I again append one more element here. So this is my second element. So now my list has two elements. So this is how I can create a blank list, not a pre-filled list, and then keep on adding elements to that list. Now, if you want to add a list as an element of the list, that is also possible, right? So this is something you can also do. How do you do that? Just like adding a new data type, a new value of an element, you just add a new list as an element, right? So dot append, and then within the brackets, the parameter that you give is another list. So what will happen is it will just add another element, which element is nothing but another list. So this is a nested list, a list within another list. Okay, so this is a nested list. So what do you understand? As a part of a list, you can have any data type, or you can also have another list, right? Next, we have already seen how you can access the values in the list. So here I'm just repeating the procedure again, right? I am accessing the first element. Now, if I want to access the element within the nested list, right? One element in the, so how do I do? Instead of one access specifier, I give another access specifier. So first I get the list, and then I get the element within that list. So this is my list. This I access using the index 2. And then within that list, this is an element. So this is the element 0. So I give a 2 0 to get the first element within the list, which is the third element of the bigger list, right, of the outer list, right? So this is how we can access. Then we can, again, element wise, we can repeat the stuff, right? So for example, I just took the first element and repeated it twice. But here, note one thing. this first element was a string, so this was getting repeated. But here the second element is a integer. It had a value of 2, right? So if I use the star operator or the asterisk operator, it will not treat it as a repeat. It will treat it as a multiply. So it will do what? It will multiply 5 with 2. So it will return a 10. So be very mindful about the data type. When you are trying to repeat, it can be done using the star operator only when the data type is a string. Otherwise, it will simply do a multiplication. So like this, element of a nested list can also be repeated by accessing. So this part is trivial. Now, if you want to check the number of elements in a list, right? So you can do that by using the len function. Again, it's an inbuilt Python function, len. You can do that and it returns the length of the list. So there are 3 elements in the list that we had here, right? There were 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. So it will return a value 3. Okay. Now, if you want to see the last element of the list, just like in string, you can use the -1 index, right? -1 index, as we have already seen, it fetches the last element of the list. So second last element, -2, is going to return, right? Like this, say for example, let us create one more list. Like if I have a list which is having a pre-filled set of values, if you just repeat that, you will get a larger list which has the values 1, 2, 3, 4 repeated thrice, right? So 1, 2, and 3 times you have this repeated, right? And then, as I told you, you can get specific elements of the list by using the start index, the end index, and the step size. How many steps you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You will skip 4 steps and come here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will come here. So like this, it will jump 4 steps at a time, right? So this is how you can fetch specific elements in the sequence, right, of a list. So next is another very important. If you want to update or delete values in a list, how do you do that? Updation is very simple. You just decide which particular index you want to, what is the element you want to update, and what is the index of that element, and simply access that element and equate it with the new value. Like that, you are going to have the updation being done, right? So this is the update. So here I have updated the third element of the list and the last element of the list. So if you see, this was the original list. Now I just changed the third element with a 7, right? So this is how I had done the update. Then again, last element, I have just replaced the last element, which was a 4 earlier. I have replaced it with a string value. This is also permissible. You can replace the element having a particular data type with another element having a completely different data type. That is possible. Last but not the least, if you want to delete an element, how do you do that? Again, you mention the index of the element you want to delete and just use the del function. So you delete this element, and if you want to print it, you will see that the element has gotten deleted. Right? Sorry, not the whole thing, this thing. If you want to delete all elements, you will give a colon, right? And you will not specify anything as a start or anything as a stop. So by default, what you are telling is go from the first index till the last index and delete all elements. So then again, you will get a blank list, right? This is how you can delete the elements of a list. So these are the different basic things that you can do with a list. There are certain utility operations which are there in a list, like you have in, right? So if you want to see whether there is a particular string in a list, so whether a particular string, say we, is present in that list. So it is there, it is present in the list. It will return a true, right? So similarly, you can check with a not in, you can get the max value, you can get the mean value. So say for example here, what will be the max value? 89 is the max value. What is the mean value for here? The 0 is the mean value. Then you want to see the sum. You can do a sum of all elements of the list. Again, these are possible when the elements are numerical or number, right? You cannot do this for a string type. Then all. So if you want to see, return if all elements in the list are true or false, right? So you can do that. You have to make a mention a condition, obviously. Then you can convert a particular data type, which is a different data type, to a list. So typecast to a list. So you can use the list function. Say for example, you have a tuple, you want to convert it to a list data type. Here is how you can do it. Or sorry, here there is a string. You want to convert it to a list data type. You can do it here like this. So again, if you want to use the sorted function, what you will get is, say for example, you have a hello where H comes first, then E, then L, and then L, then O. What is the first alphabet? E is the first alphabet. So it will come first, right? Then comes H, then comes the L's. So the alphabets get sorted out, right? So you can do the sorting of the alphabets. So these are the utility operations, very few utility operations, but very important utility operations in a list. Like this, we have a utility set of utility methods or functions in a list. We have seen some of them, like append. We have already seen how to use append. Like that, you can use remove. You want to remove a particular element from a list, you can do that, right? You can use the other functions like reverse. Say for example, this one is in a particular sequence, you want to reverse the sequence, you use the reverse function. Sort, you want to sort the elements, but the elements need to be of a number data type. So if you want to sort, you can use the sort functions. So like this, you have a set of utility functions for the list data type, and you can use them for doing different manipulations, right? So this is all about the list data type. We are going to come back soon with the next data type, which is the tuple data type, right? We will go through the tuple data type soon.